Hi everyone, this is LAR Games, and today I'm watching episode 13 of Infinite Dendrogram, the true last episode of this season. I didn't expect this to get 13 episodes. Yet something like Konosuba only got 10 twice. How? Anyway, it's finally time to finish this, so I'm actually pretty excited about this. Let's get started. They're fighting a Destroyer-esque monster thing, though. I mean, I admit the design is pretty cool. So it's a centipede with drills on it. That lady on his left, or on his right and our left, had a pretty hilarious face. That's more like Rock Crush than anything else. I don't think that name fits it very well. He wasn't doing that at all. The animation didn't show that even a little bit. But, I'll take your word for it that he actually was doing that. At some, canonically. Can't believe there's, basically battleships in this. What's the point of there being different countries and stuff, and one of them... if there's, technology like that already. They don't even need swords and stuff. Then again, this is the kind of world where, I guess, swords can be as strong as, artillery or something. Maybe he's leaving it to his brother. Oh yeah, they survived. Right. Well, even if they didn't survive, they could just log in 2 days or something. So they would still be a character. I wonder what all that, equipment is for on that, fortress thing. It's miles of pipes and buildings and stuff. What are they storing? Yes, her drills are too valuable. We need those for mining. That's the only reason, by the way. There hasn't been too much other reason for him to care, I guess. Except just thinking that she's a real person. Yeah. Yeah? Basically, it's like the successful implementation of AI on every level. But, I mean, it's still a game. None of this is actually real. Yeah, I kind of said that right at the beginning. That wouldn't make any sense. The abilities would not make sense if this was a real world, because one thing that it doesn't simulate perfectly is like actual physics and conservation of mass and energy and stuff like that. But you could just like stop playing. Or with your abilities, you could actually just go around and have fun in the world. Like, just do whatever you want and not actually try to ruin everyone's fun. That would be an option as well. But one day, 2 days from now, I'll log back in. I wish they had a whole bunch more character moments with each other, instead of all this fighting and politics and characters. Okay. Going Zorro style, huh? He could have tried dodging. Well, with that momentum, he could have, just ran off the edge. Of course, I'm sure everyone would want in on this kind of game in real life because this basically makes waifus real, doesn't it? Not necessarily actually real, but in a way that people would find incredibly alluring as a way to interact with. But it's also kind of a clever way to kind of distract AI into not taking over the world. Well, that's the first frickin' sign of anything happening ever in the last episode. How does he even eat through that? Yes, clearly. She's adorable. I like her. Kind of looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh character. There's a bunch of kings, aren't there? You know, something that's a bit funny is that, like, if you, like, end up killing the ultimate bad guy in this, he's not dead. Like, it's basically like what Batman does, where, like, he beats people up and they're just still there and they could escape again and do things again and again and again because they're still there. They could literally just try again and succeed this time because whatever damage they do will be permanent in this world. That's probably what people usually do when they play this game. I did not expect that, actually. Like, I should have maybe, like, suspected that there could have been other characters like that, but, like, I don't know why I didn't expect him. What I don't like, though, they suddenly made this character seem so, like this, just because it was revealed they were a girl. So they're suddenly acting girlier. Yeah, that was pretty... I think she noticed that as well, huh? It is a bit annoying that characters can never actually leave. Oh no, they're still here. You should stay away from bears like that, by the way, little girl. I did, very regularly forget that he's kind of doing all this, but he's technically like much lower level than all of them. So he may eventually be pretty strong. But I kind of feel at the same time too much has already happened. Yet at the same time, I feel like not much has happened. In terms of like the amount of events and the scale of them, there's been a lot. But in terms of the characters themselves, particularly the ones I care about, because there's way too many in the first place, nothing much has happened at all. Because they have to divide the attention between all these different characters. I assume it's not actually going to show a fight, it's probably just going to cut or something. So he's just going to be without an arm forever now? Does he permanently have lower health? Does that make him just stronger in general? She looks nice. I guess they're hinting at something big there. Maybe they're hoping you'll read the novels, or maybe another season has been confirmed. But yeah, that was Infinite Dendrogram. Well, I'll just say it wasn't my cup of tea overall. I'm glad I finished it because, of course, I don't like dropping things, but I did fully confirm that I'm not really interested in the direction that this series is going for. This really wants to be like a giant epic story with everybody in the story having their own motivations and backstories and stuff like that, and trying to make it a grandest scale as possible. But I always feel that those types of stories, they suffer greatly when it comes to the main characters. It's hard to get kind of invested in any of them because they're only just a tiny piece of a big puzzle. And the thing is that the giant puzzle has to be incredibly interesting for this to work. But the problem with this is that besides the whole AI aspect of it, the whole virtual world aspect, the world itself is not interesting whatsoever. It is incredibly generic. And it mixes things that just, I feel, make it even less interesting. Like having a medieval world where they have steampunk stuff and then there's modern artillery, and it just doesn't mix. They would have to very, very, very carefully think how everything fits together in order to have that happen and make sense. I don't know if that does, and if it does, it'll have to spend a lot of time on it. And once all that time is spent on it, you also just spent less time on the characters. So you're still not really invested in anything. At least, I mean, that's how I'm feeling. Like, I know there's going to be a lot of people that feel the opposite of me and feel that, like, the focus on, well, the spread of attention across many characters is more a plus than anything. But I don't really feel that. It's the same reason that I kind of really dislike the Index series, and at the same time, I really like it. The way I dislike it is a way that makes me really sad, because I find a lot of it, like, I love a lot of it. Like, I love certain characters, but the thing is, Index never focuses on them. Once they're introduced, once their whole arc is dealt with, they kind of get tossed to the side and they're just background characters forever. Even ones that should be the main ones forever, like Index herself. There's also Misaka. The thing that frustrates me most about that series is that every single time there's an interaction, it's always cut short by something. It's either skipped, cut short by some sort of monumental event they need to stop. It's just, it feels like all that is getting in the way of them interacting, and that's kind of how it felt like here. Like, in the beginning, Rei met his embryo, and they have some nice interactions, but then suddenly everything just starts getting in the way, and then we see a nice little moment at the very end of the series where, like, they kind of show a little relationship sort of thing, but once again, it's just overshadowed by the plot going on. I don't know if anyone who actually likes the series has watched till the very end, because I have been very obvious with my satisfaction with a lot of it. But I do hope that anyone who has watched this far knows that I actually tried very hard to pay attention and stay till the end to give my full thoughts. Because what's the point of watching something till the end if you weren't actually trying to watch it? Of course, that doesn't mean that I got everything, obviously, and there are times when I was thinking about certain things that I didn't say aloud that I probably should, but I was concentrating, so I may have missed lines and didn't even realize it. So there's always that as well, but I'm hoping that if that happens, somebody can tell me. But even then, I feel that my biggest gripes with the series is not in the details. Because yes, the details would give each character more character, each character more motivation, each character more time, but at the same time, that's still, like, more time spent with them is still not time being spent with ones you actually care about. For me, I feel like this show, at least the anime, I can't ever judge the source based on the anime, because obviously I know what happened with Arifureta and how much I love it and what trash it was made into. The same with Isekai Mao, which, I mean, admittedly it is trash, but it's better trash than it appears. It has appeal besides the fan service, which is just the only thing that the anime showed. But I know what can happen with series like that, so I can't judge the source by what I just saw. Even if, like, it'll obviously have the same kind of problems that I find with this, even if it's more detailed, even if it fills in more things, even if there's just more of it. Because all of these things presumably still happen, and even if they change stuff for the anime, I think that my overall gripes with it are still applicable. But since I haven't read it, I can't say anything about it. It could be a completely different story. And most of these characters might not even exist. I wouldn't know because I haven't read it, so I can't say anything about it. So yeah, so if I was going to rate the anime, it would be like around a 5 or 6. And I am very glad that I don't have to watch any more of this because I, for the most part, did not enjoy a lot of it. So, with that said, if you've stuck around this long just listening to me kind of not enjoy myself for the majority of the time, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time with something that entertains me a lot more.